Hey guys, welcome back to Phil's Adventure in Woodworking. Today's video is going to be a little bit different of a format than what I'm typically used to doing. And that is because I am kind of moving my camera around or holding it not on a tripod so that I can give you a tour of my bench. But I thought, and what I would also do is I have noticed some issues on my bench. It's been about a year since I had completed it, it's the very first project ever made out of hand tools, so it's not pretty. I intentionally left it a little higher than what I thought I was going to need it to be for myself. So what I decided I was going to do today is I think I'm just going to give you a tour of what I've built on the workbench, kind of how it works for me. And then I'm going to show you something that's kind of cool that maybe you guys can use on your benches that you've made. So number one is dropping the level down, and number two is I have a couple of shims on one side of my my workbench that stops it from rocking. I've noticed after I put it together, I had a bit of a rock. So hopefully with this fix, I'll be able to fix that rocking, drop it down about an inch, and then go from there. So here, let's take a look at the bench here. Let me turn this camera around if I can figure out how to do it. All right, so I finally got it turned around. Yeah, the garage is a bit of a wreck right here. My table saw is being used as my my tool cabinet build. I don't actually use the table saw, so it becomes a good spot to store my projects when they're pretty large. But here is the workbench. I spent some time earlier today because I noticed that I needed to flatten this end down here. So I just hit it with a hand plane until it was nice and flat. So let's start with this middle section right here. I don't typically use this. Actually, in the future, what my plans are is to just fill this area up here with just another board and make it just one solid work piece across here. But how this will work is it's got these ugly notches that when I was learning how to saw, or I'm still learning how to saw, but when I was nowhere near as good, I put these notches on there so that I could move the board up, creating this this stop here, so I could chisel against it. I could plane against this direction here. It's got multiple settings in there, so that's on that side. If I go to the other side of it, it's a little lower. So if the board is not as thick, I would drop it down to this lower one here. So there is that. It just kind of drops right back in. On this end right here, I have a plane stop. So I would put my workpiece up against here and be able to plane against the workpiece, or against the or with the grain here, and this will stop it from running off the board. It's put in with dowels here. It can move up. I typically leave it right here. I haven't really noticed a time when just using this, what is it, about just shy of a ½ an inch thick wouldn't stop a wider board as opposed to like a thinner board. I haven't run into that yet. Here's the French hook that I put on there, also known as a crochet or a crotch, I believe. The board, though, kind of comes right into here and sets into here. What I do is I'll take a piece of wood and clamp it right here along here. And then my holdfasts right here will come up, and I can smack the holdfast in here, and then smack another holdfast in down here for you. Sorry if you guys are getting a little motion sickness here. I'll try and calm down that movement so much. So this bench is put together with just some carriage bolts and no glue or anything. It's definitely you can tell it's a it's a beginner's woodworking project here, but it works for me and everything I need it for. So let's address this nifty little thing I have here. So this is just a block. It's just over 3/4 of an inch that I have taped a Sharpie to, as you can see, which brings it right up to about an inch high. So that was what I determined I wanted to take off the bottom of the bench. The reason why I did it like this, instead of just flipping it over and measuring an inch on each side, is because I am not 100% certain that each one of these legs are the exact same height. So what this does here is allows me to mark an inch from the floor that will be the same inch on every single leg. And I can show you how that works here. So down here on the ground, what we'll do is just take this and I'll run it across here. And then run it across here. And I'm going to do this on all 4 sides of all 4 legs. So as you can see on this side here, this is where my leg is shimmed down here to stop any wobbling. And you want to keep it shimmed because you need to know from the moment your bench is not rocking how much to cut off of your legs. So I'm going to cut and I'm going to split the lines on every leg here, just so I can kind of ensure that I'm giving the same haircut here to all of them. When you're cutting this type of stuff, what you want to do is you want to start nice and slow here. All I want to do is follow my line across the top. Until I have a curve to the top here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my saw down and I'm going to follow the line on the back here. This will ensure that I can stay with all my lines. All right, so there you have it, guys. Just cut your 4 legs off to the lines that you made on your bench. Some of you guys that are power tool people out there could use a circular saw to do that. Probably be a lot faster and a lot less sweaty. I kept all 4 of my cutoffs as I cut them, so that just in case I messed up somehow or I didn't like it, I could glue them back on. No harm, no foul. But the bench is solid. As you can see here, a little bit of rack, but there's no more wobble in it. I don't have any more use for the shims right now. So I think it's been a success. Again, sorry about all the shaking of the camera and everything. Just trying something new. Let me know what you guys think. Coming up soon will be the Lincoln logs that I'm working on. Also, we will be getting to this build over here. As you can see, I'm getting along pretty well. Just gonna do like a whole compilation of how I built that. So we'll see you soon.